Post-COVID-19 supply chain dive. As America very cautiously starts to reopen, international and domestic supply chains are contending with the wild uncertainties as they continue to supply Americans with the goods they need and want. Here are a few supply chain issues they will face. Lower rates from lower volumes. If you are a carrier, this is not a good sign, but for shippers whose businesses are struggling anyway, excess capacity results in lower freight rate charges, which might help to soften the blow that COVID-19 has dealt. Freight rates recently have been very volatile depending on day and origin-destination pairing. While it is impossible to predict rates, they will likely rise above current levels over the next few months, and depending on the holiday rush towards the end of Q3, they could rise dramatically. COVID-19 spot buyers. Localized outbreaks of COVID-19 will continue to spark up at seemingly random places and times, even as the infection rate growth slows. This will cause unexpected service disruptions to logistics facilities, supplier factories, and retail operations, so expect that there will be unpredictable outages throughout your system. Close communication with all your supply chain partners will create an environment where any problems that arise are quickly identified and corrective action can be taken. Industry-specific demand. Transportation demand will vary significantly depending on the industry you are in. For retail operations, tough times unfortunately are going to be the norm for the next few months at minimum. But on the other side, for paper product producers, medical-related firms, and the grocery supply chain in general, demand has rarely been higher. Communicate clearly with logistics partners on desired shipment dates, and let your supply chain partners know well ahead of time as possible when loads will be available. This will help carriers that are facing increased demand plan their asset usage and try to maintain consistent rates for your freight. Technology tools. Better connected than ever. Data analytics and supply chain visibility tools have never been more useful. Technology provides supply chains the ability to access more capacity than ever before while keeping an eye on transportation cost. Digital freight platforms and TMS systems gives you a clear picture of what is happening within your supply chain and what needs your attention. By tracking freight spend averages, volumes on lanes, on-time performance, and other metrics, you are more clearly able to optimize your supply chain for changing environments. Many technology providers also give shippers the opportunity to utilize capacity they otherwise would not have been able to access, which provides a relief valve to maintain a fluid network as well as optimize lanes based on mode. Intermodal is a perfect example of a mode that many shippers simply don't have the tools or experience to utilize on lanes that it fits. Less freight equals more hands-on service. On-time performance, particularly on the rail intermodal side, has actually increased during the coronavirus outbreak, as the drop in volume reduces demand on capacity, which provides for a more fluid system. Keep in mind, however, on the international side, and certain lanes and localities are experiencing delays for many reasons. International shippers that need access to international 20-foot or 40-foot containers to move their products or raw materials have been experiencing a drastic drop in supply chain performance due to the large shortage of international containers available to exporters. Inventory planning. Quickly adapt to changing inventory turn. It's anyone's guess as to the return of demand for retail items and building materials, so adapt a very responsive approach to inventory planning. As you track inventory and inventory turn, you can quickly work with your supply chain partners to order more as needed. Just keep in mind that shipment delays, especially when working with overseas suppliers, will likely continue to be common. Many companies won't really understand what their current demand is until they start to resume normal operations as the economy reopens. Closing thoughts. Companies are facing the tough prospect of continuing to produce, sell, and operate, or are just starting to open back up in a global economy with nearly limitless uncertainty. Perhaps the biggest takeaway from this in a business sense is the need for being quick to react and having at least some sense of entrepreneurial spirit. This at least puts you in a situation where you can somewhat quickly adapt to the changing business environment with the mindset of trying new solutions and seeing what sticks. Shippers of all types should take a measured approach to altering major aspects of their supply chain, unless there is a consistent pain point that is documented by data. Perhaps the most important element of supply chain planning in uncertain times is simply having the data necessary to see where the problems are occurring. In addition, we'd recommend that you take at least weekly notes on what your company has done as a reaction to COVID-19, including what has worked and what hasn't, and why. This will be an incredible crisis planning resource in future unexpected events. Zmodal provides comprehensive supply chain solutions that are data-based and focused on optimizing your supply chain logistics plan for better reliability and efficiency. We focus on a multimodal approach to building resiliency that is backed by a first-class team that provides 24/7 support and the technology to keep your supply chain connected and visible. If you want to talk or want a completely free initial consultation, give us a call.